Late again, but here I am. Not to worry. I did get Reigns with a pity because this game is awesome. It's just awesome. But that's alright. I was prepared for it. All good. This Spiritus Pandemonium, my god. A lot of health this guy has. An insane amount, which makes sense given the fact that Reigns is the featured character. That's what he does. He does a lot of damage. So, let's make the boss have a ton of health so that we have to do a ton of damage and make it launch specific. You won't be able to do that much damage if you're not launching because of the way that this boss functions. And to make things even more Sid specific, this boss resists all forms of non-magic damage. That's right. You will hit ones unless you're doing magic damage because this game is so good now. That is okay though. There are workarounds for the Sidless. Tifa is fantastic for this fight. So is Selfie. A Kate Sith Call will do you wonders, especially if you're using non-magic users. You'll see that in action when Kain's finally up. You'll see him come out and hit one Brave and it not matter at all because he's just constantly getting battery, doing cap damage anyways. So there are workarounds, luckily. What seems to be very common in this fight, at least from what I've seen from the little bit that I've looked around, is using 2 force times to kill this fucker. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to just do 1 force time, done. And that's what worked out here. But yeah, a lot of health. A lot of health. Where, you know it's bad when the norm that you're seeing around is 2 sets of force time. It's pretty insane. You may have noticed that I did not begin this fight by just spamming a bunch of Lunafreya's skill 1s over and over again. The reason for that is simply because I don't have Kain in the air dropping more spears to, you know, up not only up the damage, but up the summon gauge, because I'm trying to get that built as quickly as possible. And what better way to do that than breaks? So when they have Brave, I'm doing my best to break it, so we're not just waiting around. But it's okay. I mixed up the rotation a little bit for the FR charging, but it worked out fine to also build the summon gauge. Because I wanted this in 2 turns. That was my goal. And that's a little difficult with the Sid Reigns FR, because even if Sid Reigns has Lunafreya's Quick Prayer on, his launch skills that swap the turn order around will bypass Quick Prayer. Meaning, he'll still drag people right behind his immediate turn when you don't want that to happen. So what we had to do was time the summon just right so that Sid could bring Lunafreya in when he's using the FR. She could take her turn while we're in the summon so it wouldn't add to the count. So that's why I timed it out this way. Also, it was very helpful for Kain, because once Kain gets in the air, his turn jumps way back there in the order. So I figure, okay, if we summon, we'll get a little bit more turns on our side, take that advantage. And with Brothers, not only do we have the Max Brave boost, but we're delaying all the enemies as well, so we can get Kain back in the order, so that we can get everyone in the launch sequence, which is how you build the Sid Reigns FR percentages. You need everybody in the launch sequence, otherwise it's not going to be that much. So that was why I planned it out that way, and it worked out great. Speaking of that, one con to Reigns that I don't particularly like is, excuse me, I don't remember the name, but his burst finisher does nothing to build the FR percentage, because all of his stuff it's built around launches, because it's Reigns, of course. Burst finishers don't launch. So you'll see him go in and do his thing, and then afterwards 5% is added to the FR percentage. That's it. He can more than make up for that if everything's set up properly, but it's still a little crushing to see, you know, he goes into the burst finisher going crazy, and then afterwards a measly 5%. It's a little soul crushing, but nothing we can't handle. See what I mean? Yeah, this happened before when Kain was doing the Dragoon thing. One brave, but it's okay. That Kate Sith Call is doing wonders. And look at that, we have them delayed, but now Kain is gonna get in the air, so after this Leo call anyways, but look, even Leo, 1 brave, but still doing cap damage because of the Kate Sith Call. I can't stress it enough. Kate Sith Call is very helpful for this. Krish Call is very good too. I would have used that if I had it. I would have used that instead of Seymour, but oh well. Yeah, it's time now. Actually, first, we gotta see the turn order. Luckily, the Seymour LD call delays. So actually, you know what? Maybe I'd take Leo out instead of Seymour, actually, if I had the choice. But regardless, I brought them both. So look, we will get this delay so that Kain is in the turn order as well. There we go. Perfect. We are set up perfectly. So now, we can go into the Reigns FR with everybody in the sequence and make the most of it. And you will see what I referenced earlier in just a second, right after we get through this FR animation. Actually, yeah, you can see it now. Look, Lunafreya is right behind Sid Reigns, even though Sid Reigns has quick prayer on. His swapping bypasses it. So if you're going for lower turns, be careful. Do stuff like that in the summit. Yeah, another thing I don't like is because of that, you don't get the maximum potential for what the Sid Reigns FR percentage could be, because now Lunafreya has to launch instead of Sid Reigns, which still is a decent build, but not as much as if Sid would have done it. Because look, that was only 70, but Sid can get upwards to 100 when he's doing it. In fact, we may see that right now. So we get up in the air. I do love this animation, though. Wait, never mind. Wrong one. We have not set up the burst effect yet. That's the same old... Yeah, C100. That's the same old animation we've been used to seeing ever since the Sid Mao days. Now would be the time to use your burst finisher. I don't know why I'm stalling. What else? What other button would I be pressing right now? What am I even looking around for? Just press the damn button. There we go. As cool as this looks, 5%, which brings us to 300. Which isn't bad, and then we will just build and build and build pretty quickly after that. So like I said, it's not a total loss. It's just crushing to see this right here. Ooh, 5%. Yikes. One other important thing to note. Make sure that you use the Reigns burst finisher immediately before you go into the burst phase, because Reigns burst effect only lasts for 6 turns, which is the exact duration of his burst phase. So if you want to get the most of it, don't wait. Once you pop that burst finisher, go into the burst phase. Otherwise, you'll miss out on all of this goodness. As far as the rotation goes, I went with skill 1, LD, which will then give us 2 skill 2s, EX, FR, finish. And that's that. In retrospect, it may have been a better idea to go in at 6 turns of force time, going to the burst I'm saying, instead of 7, because, like I said, this final burst finisher of his, it does good damage, but I think his FR with the launches does more. So to have it really built up to the last turn before then probably would have been more bang for my buck, but either way, this still worked out. Just barely, though. You'll see in a second. So, just to illustrate how much health this motherfucker has, everyone on the team has blue armor. Everyone on the team has a 5 out of 5 ultimate weapon. We have fantastic call abilities to boost our damage. And we do... Okay, I'll just spoil it now. We do just shy of 200 million. It's like 193? I don't remember exactly, but it's very close to 200 million, and he's still not quite dead when we get out of here. Yes, I just spoiled the end. I mean, he was very close to death. You'll see in a second, but that's just to give you an idea of how much health this thing has. So, yeah, definitely be careful. He also likes to paralyze you, especially when he gets into force time. Every attack he does once he's in force time will paralyze you. So, try your best to not let this thing swing at you too much, because it's just not going to be fun for you if he does. Yeah, see, this probably would have been a better idea to do at the last turn of force time, but that's okay. Either way, I mean, this does crazy damage. That Leo call's helping too. Wow. Wow. That was almost 40 million. So this will be the end right here. Let's see, how much did I do? 192, okay. Even so. Close enough. And then this worried me. Okay, what do we do here? Let's stall it out. Oh, okay. Nothing to worry about at all. So that's how I ran this. I still need to do my grind. I have not even touched that. So I'm going to be getting to that, but I'm curious as to who you guys ran. I hope you all enjoyed, and thank you for watching.